Hi everybody, it's Steve Gahagan here, and I've got some important information. This video is part of a blog post, but it'll also stand on its own. It's kind of important for anybody who's blogging in the WordPress interface to know this information. You can read it in the blog post below, but as I say, I'm going to impart it all to you right here in the video. As you know, at Online Techniques, we have a whole series of recommended plugins and plugins that we have been using and that we have been mounting in people's blogs. And as you also know, sometimes Google likes to make changes. They like to come around behind your back when you ain't watching and do some really sneaky stuff. And you know what they're trying to do is, well, you know, I don't know. You never know from one minute to the next what they're trying to do, but they do it. As you know, this is now April of 2011. The end of February, they did some algorithm changes, and it took me a while to figure this out. But what I did figure out was that one of the plugins that we've been recommending, you don't want to use anymore, and you want to remove it from your system as soon as you can. That is the eZineArticles plugin. Now, here's what happened. Google changed the algorithm. It became much, much more strict when talking about duplicate content. Now, this affects people like autobloggers. You got to be careful, okay? And it affects people like that had plugins like eZineArticles. eZineArticles is a very highly rated site, and they decided it was okay with them if your article that was on their directory was also a blog post on your blog. So they developed a plugin, which was very nice of them and worked very well, so that you could take a blog post and have it all nicely optimized and everything else, and take that blog post and boom, just submit it right from your WordPress interface into eZineArticles. And as long as eZineArticles, who are, you know, picky themselves, as long as they found that article only on your own blog, you were fine. Well, Google came in and, like the bull in the china shop, changed everything. And what they did was now they are looking at those at that connection, the blog post and eZineArticles, as being duplicate content. And so what happened was, and this is some serious stuff, eZineArticles lost half their traffic for the next 2 weeks. Half of their traffic. It was cut in half. And they've built themselves back up again, but that particular plugin, the eZineArticles WordPress plugin, has been discontinued by eZineArticles. And here's the problem with it. If you are still using it, then what happens is it looks like you've submitted an article, but you haven't, because it's not connecting anymore to eZineArticles. That means it's just a dead plugin riding in there, and your articles aren't being submitted. So you need to, one, submit articles directly to eZineArticles the way we always used to was, and you know, the way you want to do it in good faith. And then you also want to delete that plugin out of your system. Don't just deactivate it. You need to do it in 2 steps. Deactivate it, number 1, and once it's deactivated, then delete it from the system. You don't want plugins that aren't being used in your WordPress blog. They slow down your system. They can cause problems and conflicts with other things. I've gone in and worked on some people's blogs where, you know, they're using 8 plugins and they have 35 in there and all these things that I've never heard of. And they're just loaded up with plugins, and they're wondering why it's so slow for them working in WordPress. Well, you know, you only want plugins in there that you're actually using. So, you know, you always want to delete things, totally delete things like Hello Dolly, you know, or anything that you're not using. So what you want to do with the eZineArticles plugin is get in there, deactivate it, and delete it, and just forget about it. It was a good idea while it lasted, and it worked very nice, And it's one of, like I said, it's one of the things that here at Online Techniques we recommended. However, the Google algorithm changes have changed that whole ball game, and they were, larger than most of us realized when they were coming down the pike. So that's the blog post advice for the day, and it took me a little longer to figure that sucker out than I thought. I should have had this information to you a couple weeks ago, but you got it now. So take action on it as soon as you can, and thanks for visiting the website here at OnlineTechniques.net. Have a great day. Bye-bye.